Welcome back. Well, let's get a sense of what's playing out in the markets, in the local bourse, and for global markets that we track. And I need to edit with the details. And definitely, we see the NGX able to start off bullish. That's for the week. But what's it looking like at intraday?
Well, Ladi, good afternoon here. It's actually, I'll call it a pullback. Because yesterday, the market gained about 83.47 billion naira, which you were on the market. And then year-to-date so far is still negative territory, 0.3%. And then year-to-date is 30.22%. And month-to-date is
still in profit year-to-date.
Yeah, but yeah, there's still profits. Month-to-date, well, the month is just about some 12 days.
Yeah,
November.
the month not looking so good, but
not looking so good.
Not in November to remember, but maybe towards the end we'll find out.
Well, you just might say because the likes of Aradel, the likes of so many other bellwether stocks might make that happen. But of course, well, the market, November is still somewhere not too unpredictable. December is where you always look out for that Santa rally.
Santa rally.
Whether the market will be able to maintain
the Santa rally.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's
to
just
look
about
out for.
just a couple of days from now.
Right.
Okay. But let's take a look at what the board tells us for intraday market numbers all across the market. The markets all across major parts of the world, starting from Africa here. We see the NGX in the red, the NGX as well as the JS, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, all share index 0.92% for the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, while for the Nigerian Stock Exchange, it's 0.08%, which is coming back from the just a mild gain that we had yesterday. And then, of course, we see the likes of Aradel had made the market, and 23 other advances had made the market to close Monday's trading session in the positive side. And then starting off the week positive. But at intraday, the market is very much in the red zone. Of course, by 2:30, we would see the clearer picture if this level would be, if this color would still be what it is, or maybe it would turn in the green, and that's on the bullish side, or maybe on the bearish side of the market. Now, on the two other sides of the market, we see EGX 30, all the markets here in the red, 0.28% for the EGX 30 at 31,532.46, while the Nairobi Stock Exchange for the close of Monday's trading session, 0.46% in the red, 115.06 points for that index market. Now, let's take a look at the Middle Eastern market. It's also a flurry of red, mostly red for the markets, except for the Dubai index, which was up by 0.83%, 4,691.22 for the Dubai index on the United Arab Emirates. And still with the United Arab Emirates, the Abu Dhabi intraday numbers down by 0.12%, 9,424.45 for that market. And, of course, the market is looking at the geopolitical issues there. We also look at the oil market, oil market, where we see oil prices are still slightly changed. Then OPEC, the markets are waiting that OPEC will release the monthly oil market report for October, which is due out later today. So the markets are all out looking out for that, as well as the post-election rally, which came after U.S. President-elect Donald Trump will return to the White House. Of course, that will be on January the 20th. But so far, the markets across the Middle East were in the red, 0.07% for the Saudi Arabia's Tadawul, 12,097.75, while the Qatari Stock Exchange for the intraday market numbers almost more than 1%, 1.38% down at intraday 10,458.21 for that market. And so let's come back to the home front and talk about the domestic stock market. And, of course, let's review a little bit of Monday's activity. And we have equity market trader as well as analyst with FBN Quest to tell us more about this. Abiodu Adedotun, I'm sure you are there. Can you give us details about Monday's trading activities? We saw Aradel and so many other market movers print on the market, the positive. Give us details about this.
Yeah, good afternoon, Victor. Good to be here again. Yes, of course, Aradel led its way again yesterday's trading session, and I think it's in tandem with the positive movement we've seen. I think it's about 3 consecutive days of positive movement in Aradel. If you recall, Aradel had sunk significantly post-listing early in October, so we can probably turn this to recovery, because, of course, the stock has gone deep into the oversold region, and investors are trying to do some form of cherry picking. So it's also important to state that the stock is trying to find its optimum price discovery right now. So there's still a bit of here and there going on in Aradel.
Okay, so Abiodun, I'm going to talk a little bit about Nigeria, but not really on the market. But this time it's talking about the ABSA report, ABSA Financial Markets Index ranking, which we'll be seeing very much. There you see it on our screen there. Nigeria's overall score has dropped. It dropped to about 64 against them. So it has placed Nigeria behind South Africa and Mauritius. South Africa is currently #1 there, 87, while Mauritius is 77, and that's according to this latest ranking of ABSA's financial market report. And they're also putting this on the back of high inflation and foreign exchange shortages. Inflation will be out, and then of course, but how is it? What does it interpret for Nigeria's stock markets?
Of course, it speaks not just to Nigerian stock market. It speaks to what's happening in the economy in general, right? High inflation coupled with high unemployment is more like a state of stagflation, and it could mean things on either side. On one side, it could be a good thing because technically it shows that the cost of doing business and labor should be cheaper in Nigeria, because Nigeria is cheaper. You bring your $10,000, $100,000, $1 million to Nigeria, it becomes a lot of naira for you to be able to get some form of profitability. But of course, it also could also indicate that the government is not yet right there in terms of policy coercion, both on the fiscal and on the monetary side. But these factors that have already been priced in the local equities market, because you'd see that asset repricing would happen when you have excessive inflationary pressures, and you see what's happened in the banking sector, wherein the banks have made a lot of kill right now, and you see that the way they are trading this year, it's a lot better in terms of pricing than the way they were trading in the corresponding period last year among the banks. So, and for companies that have not really done well, of course, you'd see some form of adjustment in terms of pricing. So pretty much these numbers have been priced into the Nigerian markets.
Okay, so speaking about the markets, especially at intraday, can you tell us what the intraday market numbers are, how they're moving, and then what sector is in focus?
Okay, intraday markets were fairly flat. It just dropped about 10 basis points. Nestle is the biggest decliner alongside O&O. You know, O&O was released for active trading after it was suspended for a few sessions for non-compliance to the listing rule of the NGX. But of course, they released an impressive H1 2024. I think a lot still beg for question from investors, and I think that's why the stock is still trading at where it is right now. In terms of Nestle, the story is there. The FX Wahala, you know, just as it is eating Nestle, you know what's happening in MTN and things like that. Companies that have exposure to FX is not really looking so good. So I think that's what's affecting Nestle currently. But on the bright side as well, you see companies like Transcorp, UBA. UBA, of course, is inched up closer to its right price, which was listed last week at 35 naira. The stock is currently trading, I think, around 31.70 or thereabout currently. And Transcorp 2 also is looking a little bit. So this, a few companies have been able to claw in some gains. You know, Nestle is one of the heavyweight stock on the NGX. So a few companies have been able to catch up some gains on what is being lost in Nestle. So I expect the market to close about flat today.
A flattish close. Okay, so we'll look out for that flattish close on your forecast, and I hope it goes in the green, maybe for the side of gainers. But thank you so much for your analysis on our show.